AskReddit by 7 He Hench Grench. What's one type you'll never date again? If they are nothing but their problems. It's okay to vent, but that can't be the only thing you are doing in your life. I had a friend like this, unfortunately. She wanted to be coddled, comforted and babied all the time. I tried to help for a long time. I did comfort her. But I tried being tough too. The friendship started feeling like unpaid labor. I set more and more boundaries until eventually it was too much even having her in my life. Ending that friendship sucked, but she understood why it was happening and took it very well. The firm "this is just how I am" type. That has proven time and time again that someone is set in their ways, excuses their toxic behavior, and takes no effort to look introspectively at themselves or how they affect others around them. That's not to say that this is always a bad thing. I'm all about being who you are, but I draw the line at never looking into who you are or why because you've given up on trying for yourself. The people can't handle me because I'm brutally honest types are always the first who cannot handle any iota of brutal honesty themselves. The self-proclaimed asshole. Brutal honesty is not impressive, tactful honesty is. Also, you think they'll raise their voice for you, but they're just gonna raise it at you. Adding to this, angry guys. I can't. I grew up in an angry family. I won't put myself around that energy anymore. My brother is an angry dude, you can't tell him anything and everything pisses him off. We're in our 30s and he's still single. I'm not surprised. It's not attractive. Is Lyra type? Seriously, her friends tried to warn me. Next time I'll listen. Dude, if her fucking friends tried to warn you, that's more red flags than a Soviet military parade. Anyone until I get myself straightened out. Pretty sure I'm the problem. I don't know if you were the problem in your relationships or not, but I admire your willingness to do that long, hard, truthful look in the mirror. Seriously. Bravo. We all need to do more of that. The work to be done after the assessment is the hardest part, but absolutely worth it in the end. Good luck in the future. Someone that talks all the time, but does nothing ever. Full stop. Hey, don't call me out like that. Emotionally unavailable, no intimacy. Question. I've seen the term emotionally unavailable before, but don't know what it means. What's an example of an emotionally unavailable person? Please and thank you. The skater boy type that start each unemployed day with a black coffee and half pack of light blue American spirits before he goes to the scatter park, commando in his 3-day and washed sweaty double knee Dikes just to stomp his board in half because he can't land a trick. No, I'm not traumatized, you're traumatized. I was hoping you were gonna start singing the lyrics to the Avril Lavigne song. The stalker type. Don't get me started shit. The thing is that some people seem normal at first and you don't see the stalker vibes until later. I will never date someone from the same small town I came from again. Everyone knows everything you're doing, and people are way too nosy and into your business. My husband and I both grew up in a small town, 2 years apart in school. We both agreed to never live there again and have been almost entirely removed from that environment for over a decade. It would have been just the worst to not only have to basically relive our childhood, but to also subject our kids to that same experience. The love bomber. Learned that the hard way. Twice lol. Never ever ever again. If it seems too romantic to be true, and deep down you're a little confused on your side, apply brakes. Hard. If someone refers to themselves as an alpha, I am staying far away. As some redditor said in a different post, alpha is a term that actually suits those guys. In software it's something hardly developed, prone to malfunction, frustrating to deal with, and likely to end up leaving you unsatisfied at the end of the day. All his ex-girlfriends were crazy and cheaters. Also getting mad at bad drivers to the point it's not funny, just awkward and annoying. All his exes were crazy, and his roommate's ex-girlfriends were crazy, and his friend's wife was crazy. Totally ignore the fact that one of the roommate's exes had to get a restraining order, and his friend had been arrested for domestic abuse. Nah, it's totally just that those women are crazy. My ex had this obsession and love for the Joker. That should have been the only red flag I needed. The depressed and insecure type that refuses to get help. It become mentally and emotionally exhausting for you both. Oof, hit me hard : I'm certainly suspicious of overly charismatic people these days. Oh, then we'd get along just fine. A hardcore mama's boy. Yep, this was my last relationship. He was a nice enough guy, but he had absolutely no boundaries with his family, especially the mother. Within the 1 year of us dating, his mom was completely intertwined into our relationship despite the fact that she lived on the other side of the country. She went as far as questioning my food allergies before I was supposed to visit their home for Thanksgiving. Broke it off before that trip happened. Never again. Edit for clarity, ex's mother was questioning whether I really had the food allergies. The eternal optimist, aka I will never ever want to hear about anything negative ever, especially if it pertains to my behavior and being held accountable. Fucking this though. The hippie toxic positivity, so fucking positive until they can't be, or things just aren't and they just run to the next person that can keep giving them that high they need. Ones who can't talk about problems in the relationship, or take any responsibility for how what they do hurts you and makes you feel shit and rather hit you. Bonus points if every time you bring up an issue or problem all they do is shut down and say we've talked about this. Or turns it into you attacking them. Someone who's easily persuaded by their friends for all things in the relationship. Especially friends who haven't had even one decent relationship themselves. The toxic positivity, pseudo-spiritual guru. The evil hippie masquerading as a peace-filled person. They are the chaos. Never again. The ones where you become their hobby. Explain, please. I thought love language was total hokum, until I dated someone who didn't crave the same physical contact I did. I could make her infinitely happy by getting her a cup of coffee, but physical contact did absolutely nothing for her. I'm the total opposite. It was a lesson learned. There are two parts to the love language theory. How do you receive love, and how do you show love? The crucial part is communicating with your partner about your two parts and also theirs. And sometimes you can continue to show love in the way you generally do, but you should also take into consideration how your partner receives love. Otherwise, your partner will be unfulfilled. And it's good to converse about these things early on in a relationship because some people are incompatible based solely on the information you learn when discussing this. The tall, conventionally attractive dude who totally isn't dating below his league because he wants desperate girls who are easier to manipulate and abuse because they feel lucky they got attention from a hot person. Most other types I avoid. I never dated a first time, but this one fooled me a couple times before I learned. Sounds like my ex. Was very attractive, ex-addict but master manipulator and womanizer. Too much baggage and unresolved feelings for their exes, liars, users,